Hi girls. So in this video we are going to see a few more topics on the recent developments in banking. So to start with Neft. So the first one is Neft, NEFT. So what is the full form of NEFT? Nothing but National Electronic Fund Transfer. So this particular method is another way or means to transfer funds from one bank to another bank. So this Neft, that is NEFT, electronic National Electronic Fund Transfer, is an electronic payment system. Now this system was developed by Reserve Bank of India basically to facilitate the transfer of funds by customers from one bank to another bank, specifically in India. So it is a method in which you will be able to quickly transfer money between the banks throughout India. Okay, so you can transfer your money from one bank to another within India, throughout India, very quickly. So a bank branch must be Neft enabled for this purpose. Okay, that is, they should initiate this particular method of payment, or they should have the ways and means to do the same. Now a bank branch must be Neft enabled for a customer to be able to transfer funds from one account to another account, or one bank to another bank, one party to another party. Okay, so talking about the limits of funds that you can transfer over Neft is, now again it is up to the discretion of the banks. Different banks may have different limits, but generally most of the banks have 50,000 rupees as their limit. So where 50,000 of cash transaction can be done at any branch, but there is no limit on the number of transactions. Though they are giving a limit on the amount to be transferred, they are not giving you limits on the number of transactions. Okay, so that has to be noted. So you can transfer the fund generally to the extent of 50,000 rupees. Okay, but again it might differ from one bank to another bank, right? So this, what is the difference between Neft and RTGS? Now in the previous video I discussed about RTGS to you all, isn't it? So RTGS is like a payment, a transfer method where they are also enabling you to transfer funds from one account to another account. But the difference between Neft, while Neft also is another method of transferring funds from one account to another account, one bank to another bank, what is the main difference here is RTGS is used for urgent transfer of big amounts, large amounts, but Neft is enabled, or it is used to transfer the amounts that which is not time sensitive. That is, if you don't want to urgently transfer fund, then you can always opt for Neft. If you urgently want to transfer big amounts of money, then you have to use RTGS. So that is the main difference between Neft and RTGS, girls. So that is about Neft for you all. So the next one we are going to see is ECS. So what is this ECS? So ECS is nothing but electronic clearing system. Now if you ask me what is this all about, this is also a method for fund transfer, but on a repetitive and periodic basis. So ECS is some kind of a method which is usually used by institutions, corporates, okay, organizations and so on. So usually individuals rarely use this kind of method. Why so is because, so it is an electronic method of fund transfer from again one bank account to another bank account. So it is generally used for bulk transfers, girls. So where organizations are involved in bulk transfer of funds from one account to another account, such kind of organizations can use this ECS method, that is electronic clearing system. Okay, so it is where bulk transfers are performed by institutions. Like for example, if an institution wants to make salary payments for its employees, it can use this particular method. So where it's basically a method in which like on a regular basis, at regular intervals, repetitively, the bank will do the job full for you. So if an organization wants to pay every month salary for its employees, so if it takes up this ECS method, electronic clearing system, so it can easily like make available the salary for its employees every month through this method. Not only organizations paying salary for employees, but also organizations paying dividends, organizations paying interests, pension amounts, they also can use this particular method. So basically, this electronic method or mode of payment or receipt is for transactions that can be done repetitively and periodically in nature. Do you understand? So, it is a mode of fund transfer method which can be used by institutions for making payments such as salaries, pay, pensions, interest, dividends, and so on. So, that is about ECS. So, next one we are going to see is small banks. So, what are these small banks? Now, small banks are nothing but specific segment of banks. Obviously, it is created by Reserve Bank of India, and it is created with the object of providing financial assistance for some unserved and underserved communities, okay, sections of society. Now these small banks are specific segment of banks that I told you is created by Reserve Bank of India under the guidance of Government of India. So basically what is their object, as I told you, is they want to provide some further financial inclusions for those unserved and underserved sections. Okay, so there will be some unserved and underserved sections, isn't it? So there are certain sections of societies where banks never reach, isn't it? Like for example, these marginal farmers, micro industries, small industries, some kind of unorganized entities. Okay, so all these which don't get the financial help at all. Okay, so they are not served by the banks, or they are underserved, or they are never served, they are unserved. So such kind of sectors are provided financial aids by these small banks. Okay, so small industries, unorganized entities, micro industries, these farmers, marginal farmers, so they all are going to get helped by this particular institutions. So these banks also are undertaking all the basic banking activities, including lending and also taking deposits. Okay, so these banks are, like I told you, set up by the Reserve Bank of India in order to provide financial support or furthering the financial support for these kind of sectors of the society. All right, the next one we are going to see is payment banks. Okay, so what are these payment banks? Now payment banks are banks that which are existing for the purpose of only making payments, and they cannot issue any credit. Okay, see, what is the main purpose of banks, girls? Basically banks are there to accept deposits and lend loans, but you can see that these banks are called only as payment banks. That means they are only allowed to make payments, and they cannot accept any kind of deposits as such from its customers. So payment banks are new model banks. They are basically initiated or conceptualized by the Reserve Bank of India, again under the guidance of Government of India. Now these banks cannot issue any sort of loans or any sort of credits. Okay, so these banks can accept deposits, and those deposits are also restricted. Okay, they are not allowed to accept like huge amounts of deposits as such. It's at the discretion of Reserve Bank of India. So they are allowed to only accept restricted deposits, and as I told you, they cannot issue any kinds of loans, credits, okay, or they cannot even issue any credit cards and so on. So it is like any other bank, but operating on a small scale without involving any sort of credit risk. So basically these banks don't involve any credit risks because they don't provide any credits at all. They are only accepting the deposits, right? So it can carry out most of the banking functions. Like any other banks, they can also accept most of the banking functions, but except for advancing loans and credits. Okay, so if I have to give you some examples, now you must be wondering whether there is any bank like that also. Yes, there are banks initiated only for payments, and those banks, you can take the example of India Post Payment Banks, Fino Payment Banks. So these banks are all called as payment banks. They are only there to make payments. All right. So the next one we have to see is digital wallet. So what is this digital wallet? So this maybe even you all are using, girls, and you're also very familiar. So to start off itself, I can give you the example of Google Pay. So Google Pay is called as one of the digital wallets. So it's basically an app that which runs on your mobile devices and which will enable you to make some kind of fund transfers. Okay, you can either make payments or you can receive payments through this particular Google Pay method, or you can call it as digital wallet. Now, not only Google Pay, there are different other methods also making payments. I'm just giving you one example which is most commonly used. Now, talking about digital wallet, what is this digital wallet? So just like how we all carry a physical wallet, no? What do we have in our wallets? We have money, we have our cards, isn't it? So we have some, important things that we are carrying in our wallets. So this is called as a digital wallet. Basically, it is replacing your physical wallets. So now you need not carry. Earlier, how things were is like we used to carry bigger bags. So from bags, we all cut short our things and started carrying wallets. So now you need not even carry your wallets. You can only carry your phone, and your mobile phone will do the needful for you with regards to everything, isn't it? So a digital wallet is basically a financial transaction application. Okay, so that which you can run on your mobile device. So it basically securely stores all your payment information, girls, and you can even have passwords for the same to keep it more secure and safe. So these applications will allow you to make payments when you're shopping using your mobiles, so that you don't need to carry your cards. Okay, be it your credit card or debit card or money, you need not carry all that. So like I told you, examples are Google Pay, and if you take mobile phone related, it will be like Apple Pay, Samsung Pay. All these pays are there. So these are few examples of digital wallet, girls. So it basically allows you to easily send money to maybe your relatives, your friends, or if you want to make payment to a shopkeeper, from smaller amounts to bigger amounts can be transferred on this kind of method. So it allows you to easily send the money from one account to another account. Not only that, it also stores all the payment information for you. So it's more safe and secure for you to use. Okay, so this information, whatever it is storing, is stored in a very compact form. Okay, minimized form. It is completely reducing the need for you to carry any kind of physical wallets. So how it works is, as I told you, it is all about an application. So it contains some kind of digital versions of your credit card or your debit card that will be stored in the wallet apps like Google Pay and so on. And that which you can install on your app, connect the same app to your bank account. Okay, and then you can use this particular thing by just scanning and making some kind of payments. So these days most of us are using digital wallets, and it's safe and secure as well. Alright, so that's about today's video, girls. So we have seen in today's class NEFT, ECS, small banks, payment banks and digital wallets. So if you have any doubts regarding the same, you can always let me know, or you can call me up or text me to clarify on the same. So I'll catch up with another video to finish off the rest of the topics. We just left with few more topics. Alright, girls. So with that, I will finish today's video. We'll catch you all with another video. Thank you.